So this past Monday, Raw had its 20th anniversary. 20 years of blissful wrestling. And over 1,000 episodes since then. Now, my expectations of this would be probably spectacular, probably a lot of throwback stuff, but unfortunately, that didn't happen with the WWE. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I did not watch the show in its entirety because I don't have cable. I haven't really watched a full show of Raw or SmackDown in almost 3 years. I don't have cable because I canceled it because it was getting too expensive. I mean, I was hardly watching anything but wrestling, and why would I pay $60 just to watch TV only on Mondays and Fridays? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I usually watch the Raw clips on YouTube, and to me it's kind of like Cliff Notes to me, and it gives me a little vibe of how the show went just by watching the Cliff Notes. In my opinion, Cliff Notes. And if there's a match that I'm interested in seeing in its entirety, I would try to find it on YouTube and watch it, or I can just go on Hulu, which they show a full show of Raw on Hulu now, and do that. But for right now, I just watched the clips. So I watched the clips of the 20th anniversary, and the vibe I got from it was that it was just another Raw show, just another Raw show that didn't really had that anniversary feeling, you know, because I saw like parts of the matches and stuff, and the promo segments and their little retrospective of Monday Night Raw, which, yeah, I mean, it's good, like showing a retrospective of all the weird gimmicks, all the catchphrases, all the vehicles that they used, and all the weddings that happen at Raw that never really go so well. I mean, yeah, it's good, but in my opinion, I prefer seeing guys from the past that help build Raw to where it is right now. Yeah, they had The Rock there, who played a major role, same as Mick Foley, who played a major role, and in some cases, Ric Flair, who played a really major role as well. But with something like that, I was expecting to see like guys like Shawn Michaels there, because he played a major role in the success of Raw, or maybe Triple H for that matter, or DX, and have a DX reunion or something like that. And most importantly, Stone Cold Steve Austin, because I feel that guy put Raw into a huge map of the media. You know what I mean? With the whole Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not saying that all the other guys didn't made a huge contribution to it. They did. But we didn't see guys like him, or Bret Hart, or even The Undertaker. So, to me, it didn't really feel like it was like a 20th anniversary of, celebrating of Raw. That it's been around for 20 years. I feel it was playing more to the current fans, which is that's not a big deal. But in my opinion, if you're gonna call it a 20th anniversary, I feel that they should have played for the hardcore fans, or the old fans that used to watch it back in the day to now. Give a little fan service to them. But it was mostly just your typical Raw. You had Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton, which I'm going to get to that later. I'm going to get to that later after this rant. You had just, a new Divas champion in Caitlyn, and after all that, Eve decided to be released from the WWE. Then you have like CM Punk facing Brodus Clay, which looked pretty good. Then you have the promos and stuff. Mick Foley coming out celebrating that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame finally. Yeah, that's right, I said finally. Mick Foley has entered in the Hall of Fame, where he belongs, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but that's my opinion. And then of course you have The Rock, who made his appearance doing his little concert, making fun of Vicky Guerrero, which I heard a lot of people not too keen with that because it was in Texas and they felt that they should have had more respect for her, which I'm not going to do a rant video on that. I'm going to leave that to someone else. Please, CMAWx, please do it. I did request it because I think you have a better insight on this than me. But anyway, enough about that. But and then the ending, a lot of people say that The Rock and CM Punk saved the show. Not really. I mean, I've seen brawls between top contenders before. It was sort of like a cliche thing. I mean, people were bound to know it was going to happen between the two just to set up for the Royal Rumble. So, like I said, the final verdict with it is that it didn't live up to most of the fans' expectations, especially the old timer fans like myself. It didn't really live up to that expectation, and I didn't need to watch the whole show to get that feeling. I mean, I watched Raw for years before decided to cancel my cable, and just looking at the clips and the cliff notes, in my opinion, just gives me a good idea of what Raw was like, you know. So okay, did I mention about there's a cage match, which a lot of people were complaining about that too, which I'll probably talk about that on my next rant about wrestling, because I'm actually going to talk about those two things, about the cage match and Randy Orton and Wade Barrett match, and that's something that's definitely going to be discussed. So other than that, like I said, it didn't really suck. I know people saying, oh, it sucked balls. I wouldn't go that far, because if it did suck that bad, like I said, look at the crowd and look at the merchandise they're selling. I mean, seriously. All I can say is it was just a little disappointing. It was a little disappointing, but at the same time, for what it's worth from the clips I've watched, it was a good show. For what it's worth, just the expectation of having a 20th anniversary was more towards you know feeding the old fans' expectation, you know, giving a little fan service to them. You know, it is what it is. You know. All right. So, as I promised in my next rant video, I'm going to be talking about the match between Randy Orton and Wade Barrett. And I'm going to talk about Dolph Ziggler and John Cena's cage match. So I'm going to talk about that at this next rant video. So I'll talk to you guys in a few, pretty soon. And this is Duo Dreamer, rant number 14. Yeah, 14. I need to keep track of this. And by the way, like I was mentioning, CMAWx, check her, boom, YouTube out, and CMAWx, please do a rant video on the whole Vicky Guerrero thing. I like to know what you have to say. I read it on Facebook, but please make one. Please, 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 please. You have good points. Your voice needs to be heard. Okay. Okay, good. Alright. See you guys later. Bye.